let's kick off this explainer by tackling a frustration that, let's be real, pretty much every B4X developer out there has agonized over at least once. How much time do you actually waste trying to force default radio buttons to look modern? Seriously, think about it. You spend all this energy building out incredible application logic, and then bam, you hit a visual brick wall. You're stuck with rigid, native UI controls that just look, well, boring. Suddenly, you're losing hours tweaking layouts, nesting panels, and fighting with color palettes just to get a basic radio group to match your app's vibe. Well, today, we're looking at a game changer that completely shatters that paradigm. We're doing a deep dive into the B4XDaisyRadioGroup, and I'm going to show you exactly how it serves as the ultimate design upgrade, helping you completely break free from those boring defaults. Just take a look at the basic vertical stack right here. Notice the incredibly clean, theme-aware interface you get literally right out of the box. You're looking at a beautifully contained field set with a crisp legend, absolutely perfect spacing, and a slick, modern circular radio element. And the best part? There is zero massive custom code required to pull this off. This is your new baseline.
Here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll meet the component. Then, we'll master the layouts, look at precision sizing, dive into styles and colors, and finally, wrap it all up by wiring the events.
Section 1. Meet the component. So, let's lay the foundation and see how the core designer properties establish your structural baseline. When you drop this into the B4X Designer, you're immediately handed some really powerful intuitive properties. You can effortlessly set your legend text to give the field set some quick context, like select an option. You also get pixel-perfect control over your spatial relationships. You use the gap property to manage the spacing between vertical elements, which naturally defaults to 8 dips. Or if you're rocking a horizontal wrapped flow, you'll use the row gap. You've also got full control over your inner content padding. But honestly, one of the smartest features is auto height. You just set this boolean to true, and the component automatically grows to fit whatever dynamic content you throw at it. No more clipping.
Section 2, Mastering Layouts.
All right, this is where things get super fun. You can officially say goodbye to wrestling with endless custom layout panels just because you want a label on the left side of your radio button. By simply tweaking the Alignment Designer property, you can completely overhaul your UI layout. The default is alignment start, right? That puts the radio dot on the left and your text label on the right. But if you just flip that to end, it cleanly reverses the whole relationship. The label jumps to the left, and the radio dot aligns perfectly to the right edge. It's literally one property string doing the heavy lifting of a dozen layout tweaks. To see that end alignment in action, check out this Choose a Plan section. Look at how the Enterprise option pushes that gorgeous primary colored radio button all the way to the right side of the container, while keeping the text firmly anchored on the left. It creates this incredibly sleek, modern list view that users just naturally understand. And you built it in seconds. Section 3. Precision sizing. Now, the absolutely crucial thing to grasp here is how B4XDaisyRadioGroup handles dynamic scaling. And get this, you never have to push individual pixels around. Instead of agonizing over exact text sizes and control dimensions, you just use simple string tokens. For your radio size, you've got everything from XS for extra small all the way up to XL for extra large, sitting around a comfortable MD medium default. But here's the absolute magic trick built right into the source code, the resolve legend size logic. If you leave your legend size set to theme, it dynamically couples with your radio size. So an XS radio automatically shrinks your legend down to text XS, while an LG radio bumps it up to text base. The component is doing all the math to keep its own proportions in perfect check. And when you see that size coupling in reality, it's just brilliant. Just look at the visual harmony going on here. At the top, we've got a tiny XS group, and right below it, a much larger LG group. Sure, the radio buttons scale up perfectly, but look closely at the text. The legend text and the option text scale right alongside those radio elements. It makes the entire interface feel completely cohesive and totally professional. Section 4. Styles and Colors. Okay, let's take this from a structural layout into vibrant, deep styling. This is for sure the visual climax of the component. You get massive aesthetic control directly inside the designer using specific string values. For the field set itself, your border style can be a standard outlined look, a totally invisible ghost look, or a deeply carved inset style. And for your colors, both the variant border tint and the radio color dot utilize these semantic string tokens, stuff like primary, secondary, accent, success, warning, or error.
You can even make the whole component pop right off the screen by dropping in a shadow token, again, ranging anywhere from XS to XL. It's basically a complete theming engine living right inside your property's pane. To really appreciate the extreme range you have here, let's compare two totally different configurations side by side. On the left is that standard outline style we looked at earlier. It's clean, it's subtle, it's a great default. But wow, look at the right. That is a highly customized inset style. We completely overrode the border color to this custom red tint, we set the radio dot to match that error state red, and we even overrode the specific legend text color. It's bold, it demands attention, and you can pull off this exact look without writing a single line of layout code.
Section 5. Wiring Events.
Finally, let's ground all of this incredible visual beauty with the practical, under-the-hood logic. How do you actually capture what your users are selecting? Well, wiring this component up to your application logic is incredibly simple. The main event you're going to rely on is item changed. It fires off and conveniently returns an item as a map, giving you 3 key pieces of data: the string ID, the display text, and a Boolean telling you whether it's currently checked. Now, if you just want a quick snapshot of what's active across the board, the selection changed event hands you a clean list of the chosen IDs. Plus, you get these super handy helper APIs like get selected ID, get checked, and set selected ID, so you can easily read and manipulate the state programmatically. It's just clean, predictable B4X event handling at its finest.
So what does all of this mean for you? It means that great design absolutely shouldn't be a bottleneck for your development process anymore. By leveraging these dynamic, totally customizable properties, you are saving immense amounts of development time while simultaneously delivering a significantly better, vastly more modern user experience. You're simply no longer constrained by the limitations of default UI.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. Now that you can officially ditch those rigid constraints and take total control over horizontal and vertical layouts, size couplings, semantic colors, and those sleek custom inset borders, what stunning theme-aware app experience are you going to build next with B4XDaisyRadioGroup? Go experiment, have some fun with it, and we will catch you in the next explainer.